Hey guys, thanks for coming to my workshop about shoulders today. This is that video of some exercises and some stretches we talked about, and I might throw in a couple extra ones today to help you guys out if you're having some shoulder issues. So come on back with me. Okay, so first we'll do the stretch on the bench for really stretching out those lats if you're feeling tight through there with any of the overhead motions. So what you're going to do is stick your elbows on a bench. You could use a box. Your hands can be back here. You can be behind the head. And what I want you to do is just kind of lean forward and really get that stretch through the lats. You can rock back on your feet. You can hold it about 45 seconds. Or you can kind of oscillate on and off, working on getting some good motion kind of through that thoracic spine and the lats. That's also something that I like to do if you guys are doing any sort of front rack position with the bar. Same idea. You can hang that bar up there, throw your elbows up on the bar, and lean down and really get that good stretch kind of through those lats there. Another one I like to do is with the foam rollers. This will open up the front of your chest, really stretch out your pecs and your biceps. So laying on your foam roller, making sure your head and your hips are supported, and you're just going to open up your arms here. The goal is to try to get your elbows and your hands on the floor. I have pretty good mobility here, so mine go down no problem. You might be a little bit more here. And then moving and trying to find those tight spots. So up around here feels a little tight on me. So you can hang out here and take a couple of breaths. Let your arms sink down towards the floor. Or you can work on some motion and doing some full kind of snow angels. Feeling any tight spots and trying to breathe through them. And the last mobility one is for working on getting some internal rotation in that shoulder. So laying on your side, I want you to lay on your shoulder. So don't be off this way. I want you to put that pressure on your shoulder, so then you're kind of holding it down, having your arm at a 90-degree angle and kind of coming out 90 degrees from your shoulder. You're going to apply some pressure on the back of your hand and push down until you feel a good stretch there. Same thing, you can hold it for about 45 seconds and really breathe into it. If it feels like your whole body's tensing up and you're really aggressively pushing, we don't want it to be that hard. It should be a nice, gentle stretch that you're able to breathe through. If you want to give yourself a little break, do some movements in between, and then go back into that stretch, that's going to be best to kind of keep things moving a little bit more fluid. Okay, guys, for the exercises, we're going to take one of these little mini loop bands. You're going to stick it around your wrist, and we're going to come to the wall. So while you're on the wall here, I want you to think about your elbows staying relatively in front of you, so don't let your elbows flare out. And you're going to keep the tension on the band. So you're going to pull out at your wrists, slide up the wall, pull away, and then slowly come back down. Slide up, pull away. You should really feel it working kind of the backs of your shoulders, between the shoulder blades, a little bit down into the armpits. Just like that. And I like saying 3 sets. 3 sets to fatigue. If you can do 3 sets of 10, great. If you can do 3 sets of 6 because you're making yourself too tired, that's awesome too, because that means you're really working those muscles. If you're doing 3 sets of 15, that's great, but maybe get a little bit heavier band or switch up your exercise so you're still getting a little bit more fatigue in those muscles. Next, what we're going to do is a seated external rotation. So there's so many different types of external rotation we can do. It's really great for the rotator cuff. This is one that I like to do with, so I'm doing 5 pounds here. If you're doing much more than, I wouldn't say ever go more than 15 pounds because these are little muscles. They're not, big muscles. You shouldn't be doing 45-pound dumbbells with this because that's just ridiculous. So having your knee up, your elbows resting. I like to turn it so my thumb's pointing up. And you're just working on getting some nice, slow rotation in here. You should feel it working in the shoulder. If you have pain down in this spot, just don't go so low. You can kind of start here. You don't have to go through that full range of motion because some people will have pain dropping down lower. Just kind of here, coming back up. Another great way to do that is on the band. So head on over this way. So if you have some sort of, these are crossover symmetry bands. If you have some sort of resistance bands, you can hook them inside of a door. If you have a rig, you can hook them to. You're going to hold your elbow at this 90 degrees, shoulder at this 90 degrees, and you're going to come up. And this is a great external rotation exercise. Just make sure you're not shrugging your shoulder, because if you're doing this, we're having all sorts of other muscles working that we're not wanting to. So relax your shoulders down. Don't let that upper trap engage. And just doing some rotation here. So the last exercise that we're going to do is we're going to be down on our stomach, and we're working on some T's and some Y's. So down in this position, you can do it on a ball. You can do it off of a bench. I like just doing it off of the ground. You're going to keep your head looking down, and you're going to bring your arms up in the position so you're making a T with your body. Really thinking about squeezing those shoulder blades. You can hold some weights in your hands doing these. And then we're going to do some Y's. So we're going to move your arms up overhead. Same idea. I want your head looking down so you're not putting your neck in any weird positions. And then lifting up. Doing both of those, you should feel those muscles on the back of your shoulders working, especially when you're doing the Y's. Really think about your shoulder blades being pulled down and back, and you should feel those muscles kind of below your shoulder blades, your lower traps, really working to engage. So those are the exercises and the stretches I have for you guys. Thanks for coming out to the workshop, and thanks for looking at these videos.